And we are back. Welcome to Sharko's Tactical Podcast. I think it's episode 63. Is it 63 or 64?
Yeah, 63.
63. I am here with my homies, but we also have an illustrious guest. I have Lee Williams, the gun writer of the Second Amendment Foundation.
Correct. I don't know how illustrious I am.
How you doing?
I'm great to be back.
We really appreciate you coming in.
My pleasure.
I have Omar Brown Lightning Eisen.
Sure, I'll take it.
Luke, my lord, the Glue Andrews.
What up?
And the amazing Dean Carroll.
What's going on, guys?
How you guys doing?
All right.
It's been a minute.
It's good to be back for sure.
So we just got back from SHOT Show, and I'm sure that lots of people want to hear different stories, but we did bring Mr. Williams on because we will have a topic that we'd like to discuss that he's kind of an expert on. But Omar, what was your favorite memory of SHOT Show?
Favorite memory or favorite gun product? So they're very different.
Oh, man. Pick one.
Favorite memory was just getting to meet all these people that I've followed for years and kind of idolized.
Single
memory.
Single memory, single instance. Was it meeting Lululemon?
No, it's during the Cry Party. I was hanging out with a bunch of giants, all people over 6'5", and I was like, am I one of you guys? And then one of them was like, you're about to be. And he put me on his shoulders and paraded me around the entire party. That was a great memory. I was high-fiving everybody. I felt like a tall guy. I was seeing the top of people's heads for the first time in my life. Great memory.
Okay, so there must be a video of you out there with on some large tall mans.
There's several. Yeah, the guy was like 6'7", so
they were huge. They came to the booth the next day.
Yeah, they're massive guys.
My highlight was meeting the gun slap guy.
Yeah. So,
do you guys know gun slaps?
Yeah.
So somehow last year I got gun slap stickers. And I don't know how. Like they just kind of magically appeared, and I asked if anybody recognized the gun slap guy, and nobody did. And then some dude comes in and says, "Will," and he's like, "I want you to have this," and he slaps me a bunch of stickers. And I'm like, "Holy shit!" And then when I realize who it is, he's gone.
Is he local here?
No, he's from somewhere. I don't want to mention. I don't want to.
Okay.
But he got kicked out of like the tenor. Like he's kind of hated and loved. Like they were telling me, like, so even though he gives everybody shit, everybody tries to give him stuff. Like Walther tries to give him guns, and Aimpoint gives him stuff, and he does a lot of collaborations with people. Super cool guy, though.
Yeah.
All right, so we want to talk about what's going on in Minnesota.
Sure.
Lee,
I'm from Minnesota.
Oh my God, are you?
Yeah. Grew up about 30 miles south of Minneapolis.
Okay. Do you still have family, friends, and do you have local law enforcement that you're still in contact with there?
Oh, yeah.
So you were in law enforcement in Minnesota?
No, in Kansas City area.
In Kansas City.
But
Okay.
I grew up in Minnesota. Left when I was 18.
There's all kinds of shit going on right now with the shooting of Mr. Is it Pretty? Do you say Pretty or Pretty?
I've heard both. I say Pretty.
Okay, so Mr. Pretty was obviously killed, unfortunately. But you have Second Amendment people angry with the government. You have
angry with the president. Actually.
Angry with the president. You have people angry with law enforcement. You have people angry with ICE. You have other people who are pro and they don't care. What is your interpretation of what happened?
I don't know. I wasn't there, but
okay.
I think Mr. Pretty was known to them because about a week ago he was in a separate engagement, for lack of a better word, with law enforcement and supposedly had broken a rib.
He broke law enforcement's rib, or he broke a rib?
He broke a rib, okay. One of his ribs.
Did you know that, Omar?
No.
Oh, I just asked. Not scared.
No.
Okay. Because I didn't know that.
He goes out. He's doing his thing. It's weird when you talk about the members of this group because they all have they're so well organized. They're incredibly well organized. They all have this division of labor. Some are spotters. Some blow their whistles. Everything's being controlled by the Minnesota government as far as getting folks to these.
Okay. Whoa. All right. Everything's being controlled by the Minnesota government.
If you look at the people that are sending out the texts, one of them is the lieutenant governor of the state of Minnesota. She's actually on Signal, on a secure email system, and she has sent out text to meet here, meet there, meet everywhere.
Is that what you heard too, Omar?
I haven't heard much.
Well, no, didn't you? You told me about before the pod. You told me that there was like
Signal gate.
signal gate.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, that's happening right now.
Okay, so keep going there. So the Minnesota government is in cahoots with the protesters.
Yeah, big time. And if you look at what the governor and then the mayor of Minneapolis have said, they're basically calling for people to go out and protest. So I think they have some culpability and definitely some liability in what happened. Anyway, they have this protest. This cat shows up, Mr. Pretty, whatever the hell you want to call it. And at some point, his attention he drew the attention of some of the federal agents that were there. They take him down. One of them takes a gun, a Sig Sauer P320, out of his holster on his right side. Then some say a round went off. Some say the 320 had an AD. I don't know. But at some point, he's drilled by two agents, including a couple rounds in the back, even though he had been disarmed. And that, brother, is as much as I want to say about what happened and what we've seen. I will say that's where everything started. And that's it's terrible. It's horrible. This guy shouldn't have been shot and killed, in my humble opinion. But, I wasn't there. I didn't see what kind of a threat he presented, if he presented a threat. Now, I will say this. It's a lot different being in law enforcement, in local law enforcement, than it is being federal. These federal agents, they're not used to putting hands on people.
Right. So you're publishing something you sent us, this article that goes over it.
Well, whenever this runs, it'll be published. So.
Okay, and so you say in the article that it's local law enforcement's fault.
Yeah, the governor and the mayor didn't allow Minneapolis to go out and actually crush crime with these guys. They were told to stay away, and I got a huge problem with that. Because you've got your chief of police who works directly for the mayor can fire him, telling his guys not to go out and actually crush crime, to stay away from all these areas. And that, brother, having been in a car, having had a badge in my bellfold, no way in hell I or the guys I work with would have done that.
Would you consider the government of Minnesota encouraging protesters and encouraging resistance to the federal authorities? Would that not be sedition?
I would say that they're praying for more people to turn out at these protests. I don't know if it's sedition. I'm not an attorney, but it's shitty as hell.
Well, what I mean, that's government, state government defying the federal government. That's sedition.
Okay. Those are your words.
Okay.
I would not argue with you, though.
What do you think, Omar?
A lot of orthos on the wall.
Oh, yeah. I met those guys.
Quite a lot.
No, I will not. That doesn't mean I have a lot of them, but I didn't think they'd all ship at one time, but they did.
Sorry to interrupt. No, I don't know legal definitions. I don't even know what constitutes sedition. All I'm going to say is I got told that people walking into a building was insurrection, so I think we're pretty loosey-goosey on terms nowadays.
Well, I mean, just growing up in the South, like the Civil War was the thing. It was the thing everybody studied at least in my generation, like we studied in school, and then getting to university, we studied it, and it was the thing.
You're about the 100th guy that's brought up to me that this is how the Civil War and this is where the next Civil War is going to start.
I think we're already in insurrection now. I think that we're in a cold Civil War, and it will not be televised, take away from the 70s folk and that saying. I think that we're already kind of in one. That's what I'm saying. Like if there's organized resistance and the state is sponsoring it, that's like state-sponsored terrorism.
It is. And I can't think of better example of terrorism than what this guy and what his followers and his co-workers, for lack of a better word, are trying to do. I mean, comes right on the heels of that woman getting shot and killed. It's like they want to put these people into harm's way.
Well, Omar, what were you saying about, you commented that, because I'm really pissed off about, I get really mad when it comes to money, and I'm told a therapist told me it's because I grew up poor, and when people fuck with my money, I project myself as that little fat 6-year-old that couldn't afford dinner at 7-Eleven when I was a kid. So I get all.
You talk to a therapist?
I mean, it's my sponsor, but I can just call him a therapist.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I mean, I have talked to a therapist before, but like, they made me. But anyway, so now I freaking forgot what I was going to say. What was I saying?
About money.
Oh yeah, so I'm pissed off. I'm really pissed off about like the amount of fraud that has been uncovered.
Mm-hmm. Who wouldn't be?
Well, I mean, obviously not enough people because no one seems to be giving a shit about it. Like there's not enough people so I'm pissed off about like what's really important to me above illegal immigration, above like I mean, I'm still very angry about illegal immigration, what it's doing. But what I'm more angry about is that there's widespread fraud, and I pay a shitload of money in taxes. And all my taxes are going to dumb shit besides the military. You know what I mean? Like, the military's fucking really cool. I love their videos they're putting out lately. Like, they're really putting out some cool videos, you know what I mean? And I guess we should triple our budget and make it $1 trillion. I guess that's smart.
Well, Trump has said if you cut out all the fraud, the budget would be more than balanced.
Yeah, but then fucking why don't we cut the fraud out?
It's
because you've got entities in the government that are concealing the fraud because they're a part of it.
Bingo.
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about. So what did you hear before?
Story about this whole thing and how it got to this point, like not counting the shootings, is that the Somali population basically did this huge welfare scandal where they're saying, we need money for childcare, we need money from the government for feeding these kids or special education for autistic children. And then the Democratic government in Minnesota finds out about this, and they get threatened to get sued over racism because of basically saying like, oh, if you guys investigate us or deny us this, fraud basically, we're going to sue you saying that you racially discriminated against us because you're Somali and you're investigating us because we're Somali and all this. And when you're a Democrat politician, political points are everything, and being called a racist is about the most damaging thing to your political points you can do. So they backed off and they covered it up. So when Nick Shirley came and made his video and uncovered all of it and like opened the box, their number one priority is we can't let this get out because now we're culpable. Members of the government are now culpable in the fraud because they found out about it. They basically got strong-armed. They got blackmailed by the Somali group. And not only did they back off, they also covered it up. This is stuff I've learned today and yesterday. Did the full. It's kind of stupid that
You're right, and it's common knowledge in Minnesota.
Yeah,
100%.
So it's common knowledge.
That's basically what it is.
Because you're from there.
You've got members of the government. Like it would be very easy if the government was actually cooperating. It'd be very easy to root out fraud, but it's all decompartmentalized. Like the local governments are in charge of what happens locally, and if they're concealing fraud, it's very difficult for the federal government to be able to just get a bird's eye view and see that and do something about it.
So what do you think, Luke? You're back there.
Well,
with your shared microphone.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for like almost 2 years, and you only have one microphone when we have a guest.
Well, I agree with Omar, and I think that we need to get rid of a lot of entitlements because that makes the fraud so easy. You look at what the fraud is; it's normally like welfare fraud and different,
Yeah, but what's the average IQ of a Somalian?
I don't know.
It's like 69.
8.
It's like 69 or 70. How did people with an average IQ of 70, I know this probably sounds racist as fuck, how'd they figure out a way to get $28 billion?
In Minnesota, you have all these liberal groups that will help new arriving, any group that arrives in boat in mass.
So you have the liberal white man, like Malcolm X said.
Absolutely.
The liberal white man, like probably getting a payoff and telling the Somalis to do something. Mm-hmm. Just like Malcolm X said.
All of our problems come from two classes of people, and it's the opportunistic types and it's the enablers for those opportunistic types. Without getting into too much detail, because that'll land me in a lot of hot water, you basically have a type of person that comes to this country and they are opportunistic. You're going to give me billions of dollars for free, even though, because Somalia fell apart and we legally had to take in like 80,000 of them, I'm pretty sure. After Somalia collapsed, it was within our law to take in those refugees. We legally had to. And we took in about 80,000 of them. And these people, based on where they grew up, Somalia is not a great place. Things are very different over there. The values are very different over there. A lot of them, I'm not saying all Somalians, but a lot of them are opportunistic. If they can take something for free, if they can get something for free, they're going to take it. that alone in of itself is not a huge problem. The huge problem comes in when you introduce, for lack of a better term, I'll use a placeholder word, the liberal white person who...
Liberal white devil.
They are enabling this for one of multiple reasons, but generally I think the average person, it comes down to, believing that everybody else has the same values that you do. So they think in their mind, these people that are coming into the country share their exact own values. I mean, it's a very childish way of thinking, because in their minds, a person's either thinks exactly like them or is just an evil guy like Darth Vader from the movies,
Mm-hmm.
So they don't put much critical thinking into seeing what the other side thinks like. They just know that, like, oh, there's the MAGA Republicans. They're just evil like, Hitler. Super, doesn't need to think about it much further than that. They're just bad people. They're evil. And then there's these poor people that are marginalized, and they think exactly the same way I do. They have the same morals and goals that I do. All I want is free healthcare for everybody. It's a very, like, noble thing in their minds to think, is like, because you also got to think about it. These people also genuinely have not had to work for any of the stuff that they get, not in any reasonable capacity. So they start considering it as free. They take other people's labor, they utilize other people's labor, and because they didn't do the labor in their minds, and their immature minds, in my opinion, they think, well, this thing is free. Why isn't it? Because I didn't work for it. It just falls out of the sky. I want this for everybody, and these other people who are coming in, they also want the same things as well. And then these people don't want them to have that, so they're just bad people like Hitler is.
And I think you got to mention, you're 100%, they ship it home too.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a lot of half the money that they're taking is being shipped home.
Absolutely. So
didn't you say the GDP of Somalia was from Minnesota?
It's about 50. It said like 46%, but like 46% of Somalia's GDP was shipped to Somalia from the Minnesota taxpayer.
All right, so let's segue to, what about the Second Amendment, like, whole thing of it? Like, the whole people getting upset with President Trump talking about magazines, that's
a whole, like,
Preddy being called an assassin by Noam's comments. Like, what is that like? So you're pretty much a two-way absolutist. Like, what do you think about that? What do you think about Dean?
Well, the funny thing
You should
is,
let Dean talk.
Oh,
you
I thought
fucking hog.
Didn't you say Luke?
No, I said Dean.
Oh,
Why don't you you're always fucking hogging the microphone. Yes, you are, dude.
So, what did Trump exactly say? I did not see this. I heard you guys talking about this morning about he said something against the Second Amendment.
He blamed it on the 320 is the latest.
Mm-hmm.
He said the 320 is a dangerous gun. He said that. He said it's known to go off. It's all over the meme pages. He said that you're not allowed to bring guns to a protest. He said what did he say? All right, he said...
It's in there.
Yeah, he said you can't have guns. You can't walk in with guns. You can't walk in with guns. It's kind of what... And I'm sure he didn't mean exactly that, but he didn't preface it with anything.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. Maybe he was on the spot, but that is bad. I wouldn't agree with that. I don't know Minnesota gun laws. I'm guessing it might be similar to here.
As far as the gun law is concerned, I'm pretty sure you have to have an ID if you're going to carry something.
Yeah, but that's a misdemeanor, and they would whack the charges if you bring in your driver's license.
Yeah, I sense some fieriness in you there, Mr. Williams.
I'm still pissed off.
No, you're pissed off about it.
Yeah.
This article doesn't sound like you're pissed off, though.
Well,
see, so is there a difference between the guy, the reporter who writes the article, and then like what you really feel?
Absolutely.
So tell us what you really feel. This is our podcast.
I think this guy I think they took his life and they didn't need to. I mean, that's what really pisses me off. I've been investigated 3 times for using force, including deadly force, when I was a policeman.
All right.
So they're not fun. It's not a fun investigation. But, I mean, the last guy I shot had a gun in his hand when I shot him. I want to know how they're going to explain this. Because the gun was in the officer's hand. Whether or not it went off, who gives a shit? It's a 320. The fact that these feds don't know what they're doing, is bad enough. But then the Minneapolis PD, if they went out with them, that would have kept us in check. They probably know this cat that
Correct.
was killed.
I think Omar was commenting that this could be a broader, like this is all a part, like they're hoping that incidents like this happen. So
without a doubt. I mean, you're looking at the Democrats' campaign for midterms. They're gonna say. I mean, I forget who he was. A state rep, Democrat state rep, was saying how he's going to force this and he's going to do that, and all on this issue. This issue came as a godsend to them because they were going to lose. Now I don't know.
See,
and Trump's not being smart about it.
No,
that's my problem.
I don't think he cares anymore. I don't think he cares about midterms. I just think he's trying to,
Well, he's out personally, having rallies and meeting with folks to try and get the midterm so that the Dems don't take over the House and the Senate. So I know he cares about the midterm because he's personally investing his time in it. I don't think he gives a shit about the Second Amendment. That's my biggest fear.
It's long been rumored.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Luke?
Well, my biggest problem with Trump's statements is like they totally contradict what he said about Kyle Rittenhouse and the Michigan.
Bingo.
In Michigan, they took over the Capitol with guns. Legally, they walked into the state house during COVID with fully armed, open carrying, and he was like, they're good people. They're doing what they need to do, which I agree with. But in Kyle Rittenhouse, he said, he was just a good guy out there. It looks like, he had every right to be out there. But then when it's against him, no, what you said, you can't walk in with a gun. Well, it sounds like you're picking and choosing on, if the person supports you, then they're allowed to have a gun. If if they disagree with you, they're not, which I think is a slippery slope for any president. And I disagree with it completely.
I think that I really don't like when me and Luke had a conversation before this or the last podcast, and I don't like when our citizens get smoked by the federal government.
Right.
I think that's period. And we had a bit of a, Omar kind of disagreed, and me and Luke were just like, dude, the chick. But Omar said that this is different because the girl was using a car. But even then, like to me, I think like if you were trained right, then why don't you just walk up to the car and hit her with the
taser?
No, what's that big that thing? It shoots out yellow shit. It's like a taser ball or some shit. It's a
what you've just documented verbally. Oh, sorry.
Sure, no problem.
What you've just described is the difference between local PD and feds. Okay? The feds are the ones that shot this woman through the side window because she was running away. My department, where I was, every local officer, they're not going to shoot somebody who's driving a vehicle in a neighborhood, period. You get the tag, get a description, you get her label.
Exactly. That's what me and Luke were talking about.
You don't have to shoot. As a matter of fact, my department said we had a policy that said we wouldn't shoot at moving vehicles. And that's pretty common for local law enforcement. Now, feds, they do what they want. They shot her in the side window. Now, think about that. What if she drives into a house full of kids and nuns? I mean, the feds do things differently. I'm not sure it's the right way, but man, I wouldn't have shot her personally.
Having your law enforcement experience, like walking in front of a car, that's usually you never do that.
Stupid.
Right.
They have those big, like her window was down. You had one of those little, it looks like an air gun or something. Like you just walk up and pop her in the face with a bunch of mustard gas or whatever they used, and boom, done. And besides, let her go. Yeah. If she's taking off, just let her go. Like what? She's going to go far in the blizzard? That was our point.
I don't get it. I mean, there's no reason to go deadly force on a woman like that, who's like you said. He's off to the side when the round went. Get out of the way. Since
I said those comments, everybody on YouTube disagreed with me, and that's okay. But then I went to Texas, and I got caught up in an Antifa rally, or like the same kind of rally, and I was going to dinner, and there was just one downstairs, and I was like, all right, let's talk to them. And those fuckers are some evil people. Yeah. Like they want to kill you. And that gave me a different perspective, but still, deadly force is, and you coming from someone who's had to answer to deadly force, like that's a thing.
It is.
But now everything's fucking fractured because you have the Second Amendment argument. Like you can't go around saying, you can't go around the responses by the federal government right now when it's involved with shooting of one of its citizens, whether it's a fucking crazy person or not.
Correct.
A good portion of the country adheres to the fact that like fuck these people, they deserve what they get. Like, where do you like?
You can't judge how they're being treated based upon their politics.
Yeah, but so now the whole country is not only do you have the left fractured, you have the right and left fractured. Now you have the right fractured. You have the Second Amendment people over here. You have the staunch anti-immigration people. You have other people over here saying, "Fuck, man, you don't need to kill people like that." Like, and now everybody is fucking attacking each other.
I think this breaks down your political affiliation. I think what you have here, I don't care what party this gentleman was. I really don't give a shit. He should not have been killed. And if you're right, left, middle, if you're a far-right terrorist or a left-wing Antifa, you should all be thinking the same thing. That guy did not need to be shot. It transcends politics. I firmly believe that.
What do you think, Omar?
Give me the floor?
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, you tried to represent my point a little bit. The point that I was making was I don't like the broad, overarching, like, umbrella statements. Like, I don't like Americans killing Americans sounds really good on surface level. But if there's an American hurting or attempting to hurt other Americans, I want that American shot by another American. I like to look in the details. I don't think the overarching term of just, cops should not be killing American citizens. Like, no, I can think of many scenarios where I would love for a cop to shoot an American citizen. For example, if that American citizen's a pedophile, I want that guy shot. So that's one, like, that was the point that I was trying to make that you brought up. When it comes to the details, you did this a little earlier, and a couple other people did, is like, I just want to say it off bat, I don't think Preddy should have been killed whatsoever. At the moment of the shooting, that he was not actively threatening anybody.
And disarmed.
But I still think that the Renee Good was a good shoot. Because at the moment of being shot, she was actively accelerating toward. And I might hold a different opinion on this because I learned to shoot before I learned how to drive cars. And when my dad was teaching me how to drive a car, he told me, you putting your foot on that gas pedal is the same as you putting the finger on that trigger. You do not hit the gas pedal unless you're, fully aware of what's going on.
Are you still a wild driver?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Either way, so that's how I see it. Because that's my perspective going into it, I see it as at the moment that the first shot is fired, Renee Good was driving towards an ICE officer, and you can put in all the thing of, he could have stepped out of the way, he could have done this, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Without all that aside, at the moment of, she was actively doing something that I perceive is deadly force. And I think that was justified. The Preddy thing, at the moment the first shot is fired, he is not actively threatening anybody's life. So I think when you look at it broadly and people say like, ICE shouldn't be killing anybody, or, you thought the Renee Good shoot was justified. What about this? It's a completely different situation. And I look at the details. I look at the moment of the shooting happening. What are the circumstances? And of course, we're all getting a bird's eye, 19 camera angle, several days to analyze the footage. The cops in the situation are reacting to it in split-second decisions. So I don't want to be like, I know anything, or I don't want to put that judgment on it. I just don't think the Preddy shoot was good. I think the Renee Good shoot was good. And whoever's coming up with these last names, whoever's writing this season of USA, like Good, pretty. I think the next guy's going to be beautiful. Either way, I think you got to look at it instead of just trying to pick a political side and seeing, is ICE shooting someone good? Is Americans killing Americans good? Instead of looking at these broad overarching statements, you got to look at the specific situation, exactly what was happening, that specific situation. I see it as Renee Good. Again, every death is a tragedy, yes. Overall, no American citizen should be, getting killed or whatever, but all that sounds great on surface level. When you look at it in detail, I think some American citizens, it's very justified for them to be killed by other
Totally
American
agree.
citizens.
I would agree with.
You see that Luke tried to
Omar.
take your. He tried to
Yeah,
take
he took
that.
it before.
He took it.
He
He
tried
was
to get his
ready.
butt in there. I would agree with Omar and the gentleman that was shot. I only saw a little video of it, and what I saw, I didn't see him in the street. Some people saying he was in the street or whatever happened, but he's allowed to have a gun. He didn't draw his gun. The gun wasn't in his hand, so him to be shot, yeah, that was absolutely fucking terrible. And then I just learned today when Lee, you were saying he was shot multiple times. I didn't even know he was shot multiple times. I thought it was
9
like
times.
one.
10.
Two
10.
officers.
What?
2 officers shot him.
Oh,
Twice in the
wow.
back.
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Because if he didn't draw his gun and he's allowed to carry a gun, it doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense.
Luke?
Well, I just think the most disturbing part of the whole thing, I mean, is the response. Again, like Omar said, yeah, like we have the ability to look at it and look at all the camera angles and take days to analyze it, but so did our government officials, and they're still lying about it. So why are they lying? Like, it's obvious. Like, why lie about something that's clearly on camera? And I don't know.
Yeah, that's a really good point of like the response for me is the biggest thing, because as bad as it is that somebody died, at the end of the day, like I don't have the biggest thing that got to me more than the shooting itself was the immediate declaration that the guy was a domestic terrorist because
An assassin.
because he had 2 magazines.
Fucking assassin.
He had a high capacity 9mm handgun with, and then people are saying, and he had additional magazines in his car. Like, that's me. I walk around everywhere with 2 magazines. I have additional magazines in my car. That's my right as an American. That is not in of itself anything. So the fact that they're even pointing that out and feeling the need to hammer that in is disgusting to me.
That's what got me. The fact that they felt the need to have to say that.
Yeah.
To justify their officers' actions.
That's a very liberal thing to do, in my opinion.
It's a very liberal thing to do.
Yeah.
It's a very it's what they would do.
Like I'm watching that video with a double stack 9mm handgun and an additional magazine on me with more magazines in my car, and I'm hearing these people that I respect talk about how, why would you have those if you're not trying to harm people? It's like, because it's fucking America, dude.
They're not to be devil's advocate, but I think it'd be a safe assumption if Preddy was a known part of the resistance or whatever you want to call it, the underground, like whatever you want to call it. We know it's an organized movement.
Sure.
That's out the top of the government. So if he's an active member of whatever that fucking movement is, he has no ID and he has 2 mags on him and a full 320 with an extension. Chances are, like, and he knows he's going to get into a scuffle with the cops because he got into a scuffle with, not the cops, but ICE. He got in a scuffle with ICE 9 days before and broke a rib. So this time he brought a gun. So his intentions, like, it's a little gray right there.
Sure.
I mean, he didn't have a gun before, obviously,
How do we know that?
because I saw him reach for it in the video and it wasn't there. Like, there's a video of him getting pulled down and he goes like that,
I thought you meant when he got his rib broke.
yeah, when he got his rib broke.
Okay.
Like, you see him going down. And like it looks like he's going for his shirt, for his gun, and he lifts up his shirt and you see it's just like white. There's no gun there.
Is that when he's kicking the tail light off the car
Yeah.
video?
Okay.
I see where they could say. I see where you could surmise that. That would make sense. I would think, yeah, like Antifa, like whatever. What should we call them? Like the resistance, Antifa, like what do you like like whatever the fuck they are, the people that are out there actively trying to topple our government. If one of them comes to a riot fight with a gun, like that knows he's going to get into it with the cops. Like, there has to be kind of ill intent. Like, what are you going to do? Like, do you think that if the cops are shooting tear gas balls at you, you're not going to shoot back with a firearm? I don't know, but I can at least see their reasoning that this guy is probably dangerous and probably wanted to hurt people.
And I agree. Like,
But-
knowing everything that I know.
But saying it the way they did,
Oh yeah.
saying it the way they did is not because they know that's a tactic that the left used in the previous administration to brandish all fucking what the deplorables or what would they call us? Nazis. They loved calling us Nazis, right? Loved calling us Nazis, and now we're all Nazis. But so that's what gets me. I can see their reasoning, but calling him an assassin, pointing out that you shouldn't have 2 magazines, where that's our God-given right. And that's what gets me.
I agree totally. They should not have said a thing. The minute their officer or their deputy pulled that trigger, all conversation should have ceased.
Right.
And the fact that it didn't, and they felt they had to buttress this guy by saying, he was the bad guy was an assassin and all that other crap. That should never have gotten out there.
That shit corrupt governments do, trying to cover up something.
Exactly. And look what what's her name has said about this too.
You know him?
Yeah. The quotes are in the story.
Like, what did she say?
She is totally supported her guy. I get that, but you can do that without saying.
Yeah, this looks like a situation where an individual arrived at the scene to inflict maximum damage on individuals and to kill law enforcement. I like that you cited in there the proper way law enforcement would go at it, would say it's an ongoing investigation and we have no comment at this time.
Bingo. That's all they need to say. That's
all they needed to say. That's all they should have said. But now you have the possible paradigm of people who aren't into the Second Amendment to think that we're fucking crazies.
Exactly.
Because we carry 2 magazines.
Obviously, everything banking off of like the reaction that I saw from the left after Charlie Kirk got assassinated, and then all the details about what exactly this is. This, a coordinated movement to try to disrupt law enforcement action, to try to cover up a cover-up. Like, I find it difficult to find sympathy. Not saying I don't have any, but like both Renee Good and Freddie would have been just fine if they just stayed home or stayed on the sidelines without trying to interject themselves. That being said, it's not a death sentence immediately. Again, in my opinion, on the side of as soon as you present any amount of like intent to harm a law enforcement officer, at that point I see it as you forfeited your life. But that's not what I see in the Preddy case.
I got to disagree with that. Having been in a few fights when I had a badge in my bellfold. Mm-hmm. People will try and hurt law enforcement officers, and you're taught to, you have the use of force.
I should have said lethal.
Lethal. Yeah. Okay.
Not just, punching them a little bit, obviously. Right. But still, the way that I'm seeing it is I see so many people just trying to generalize everything together into being, either all of these actions are good, all of these actions are bad. I think it has a lot to do with, I feel like it's even difficult that it's even a debate, but it's if you're trying to kill someone, you are probably going to be killed in return.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. If you are there to disrupt law enforcement activities, you should go to prison. You probably shouldn't be shot for it. But it is more difficult for me to find sympathy when it's, even though everything is, everything he was doing was, having a hard time phrasing it, knowing that all this is going on the internet.
Trust me, try writing about it.
Oh, anything I say is going on the internet forever, to be stored in a bank, to be
forever
used against me later.
I
see both sides of it. I see the side of I know a lot of people that I respect are saying like, look, man, I have absolutely zero sympathy at all. This dude knew what he was doing and placed himself in harm's way to go die for Somalian scammers, and I don't fully hold that view, but I also don't hold the view on the opposite side of being like, you should be able to do whatever. And as long as you're doing the whole, well, I'm not technically touching you, that every law enforcement officer should do everything in their power to, make sure that you are completely unharmed. Like if you're driving towards an officer, at that point, I feel like you've made a grave error that I don't really have sympathy for.
Right. And law enforcement can choose to do that. Like I think that they can choose to use deadly force in that situation. It's just the argument like, well, do you really have to? And then it comes down to, well, you've got a split second to think about it, or you're training, or if you're used to it, like, and that's what Mr. Williams pointed out, the difference between feds.
It's Lee, by the way.
Lee, my elders.
I know, I appreciate that.
When did you graduate high school?
82. I know.
That's a nice ponytail for graduating in 82, dude.
Older than dirt.
I mean, you were in high school in the 70s, kind of.
Late 70s.
Oh, yeah. Did you see Led Zeppelin?
I have not seen Zeppelin.
Man, fuck.
I know. We had tickets.
They probably played right over there in Minnesota.
And then Bonham died.
Oh.
Yeah, I had the ticket for like 15 years.
Oh, man.
I know. It was, anyway.
Do you know who Led Zeppelin is, Omar?
Played the Immigrant Song when I first landed.
Did you? No, you didn't. Did you really? Oh, that's fucking awesome. So it's a real fucking conundrum that we're in. Why do you think the whole country's not pissed off that we're being defrauded? Why do you think there's not a movement to figure it out? Like, what did they do to Elon Musk? It's $28 billion fucking dollars.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I've been so hyper focused on I'll pass. I've been so hyper focused on this damn thing.
So do you know how much you paid in taxes last year?
Me personally, yeah.
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 Does it make you angry?
Very.
What about you, Luke? Dean?
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't see mine, but it always sucks, and I hate looking at that number. And then find out it's just going to whoever instead of
Al-Shabaab.
yeah,
Al-Shabaab.
It's just crazy, and I still don't understand like why the governor and the mayor. Maybe I don't understand how this works. How can they still be in power there if they're doing all this stuff?
You have law.
Why isn't there? Can't you move to impeach him? Impeach Governor Walz?
Who's going to vote for that? It's an all Democrat state.
Obviously, if you're from Minnesota, it's not all Democrat.
We need feds to come in.
Yeah, so why hasn't that
Minnesota-
happened? If they're like frauding, and then he's allowing or encouraging these people to do all this dumb shit in the street and go against federal
That's
agents,
sedition.
why can't
It's not
I don't know the
sedition.
president or just someone in the federal government just step in and
Well, I
remove
think
him?
what we're going to see is someday you'll wake up and there'll be somebody on Fox talking about the 88-point complaint against the governor
Yeah.
and against the mayor, and cannot wait for that day.
Yeah, it's taking too long.
Nothing
Yeah,
ever happens.
Yeah.
I don't think anything's going to... Nobody ever faces accountability.
I think the governor will. He's not well liked, brother.
I hope so.
I do too.
But, I mean, I have relatively speaking, I have very, very little experience in American politics, but my experience so far has been stuff gets stirred up, something just so blatantly, like, awful happens, and then people just stop talking about it, and nothing ever comes of it. And that's kind of been my experience so far. I'm very on board the whole nothing ever happens camp. Like, I remember watching, like, oh, the Clintons are being held in, contempt of court or whatever. Nothing's going to happen.
Well, Tim Walz knows that he's going to end up in some type of disarray. He announced today he's got $75,000 cash. That's all he owns. So what is that? That's a retainer for a good attorney.
I don't think that's accurate. I'm sure Tim Walz has skimmed some money off the top that's in a mattress somewhere.
Yeah. Or maybe he'll just sell off some of his drugs.
One of the thing that really bugs me, one of the things that really bugged me out of all of this is what Clinton came out and said about how this was one of the worst act of violence to see in his lifetime. When under his administration they torched the Davidians.
Yeah.
That got to me. The Davidian thing is always close to my heart. Like there probably doesn't go like a couple weeks but where I don't really think about it a lot.
Agreed.
And how it happened.
Strongly agreed.
Like I think it's such a big deal to our, I think a bit of the country died when that happened.
We never really dealt with it. I mean,
And we've never dealt with it.
Never talked about it at length.
Once again, nothing ever happens. To this day, the FBI considers that a success. The people that went there got awards.
Look on the ATF page.
Mm-hmm.
They have a page all about it.
They're heroes that went there.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
what I'm talking about. Like the most blatant act of just the most horrendous shit you've ever seen in your life can happen. And it's talked about for a week and then forgotten and then nothing ever happens. Nobody's ever held accountable. Nothing ever happens. Like that's just been my experience so far. And it's a very like black pill doomer view of everything where it just feels...
Explain black pill. I keep hearing that.
The black pill is basically nothing is... No accountability is going to come. No savior is coming. It's just the future is dark.
Nihilism.
It's pretty much just the pill version of I know things are pretty bad right now, but it's going to get way worse and nobody cares about you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what do you do if you take the black pill?
Be miserable. Generally, is how it goes.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck be miserable.
Generally, the black pill. There's levels to this shit. There's there's the blue pill, the red pill, the black pill, and it just scales up from there. It's just internet lingo. But generally, the point that it's trying to make is just, historically speaking, I haven't seen anybody genuinely get held accountable for the most vile shit that's happened. I don't see that happening over things small as this. The best example is like the Somali fraud thing. Like, you said 28 billion? I don't remember the exact number. Whatever the number is, billions of dollars were defrauded out of the American people, and who's going to get held accountable for it? At most, at most they'll arrest 15 people, say the fraud is done, call it good, and nobody will ever talk about it again. Like, the people that are actually doing evil shit never get held accountable.
Do you think possibly a new political party should emerge?
It has to, but in the system that we have, it's so impossible for any traction to take place, I feel. Like, Fishback's a great example. I love what Fishback is doing. I hope more than anything he wins. Do you think there's any chance he wins?
No.
Unfortunately. I love everything he's saying. I support him fully, and it's just, that's another black pill. It's like,
He'll be here, by the way.
I know. I'm very excited for that.
We have candidate Fishback. He'll be on the podcast on March 26th. So make sure you subscribe to the page.
He would be the representation of what political party needs to emerge. It's like the genuine America First movement of like being like, you know what, we're done getting.
Do you know
bent
Charlie
over
Kirk
back.
was Tea Party first?
No.
Yeah, Charlie Kirk was Tea Party first.
And how many elections has the Tea Party won?
Well, because the Tea Party broke up and it fucked up or whatnot. I'm not saying, but it's and it really fucked up when the Bull Moose Party happened, and it really fucked up when Ron Paul happened. But I'm just saying that something's got to fucking happen. Luke, what do you think? You were never short of conspiracies.
I'm not. This is just more of a general question for you and Lee. I was too young for Waco to like experience it, live or anything. What was it like? Like what was the news cycle like when that happened? Like I'm kind of thinking if a Waco level event happened today, like how would it differ from back, I think 1993 maybe?
I mean, I didn't have a lot of channels back then, but it was on the news all day.
Exactly.
Okay.
It was on the news all day, every day. It was like the OJ trial.
Right. Was there people on both sides, or was it pretty?
No. They were crazy people.
Right.
That was it.
They're crazy cultists.
They were a cult, yeah.
And there was no social media or any free media to really talk about any differences of opinion. And David Koresh was guilty of diddling kids and building machine guns. That's all you really heard. And just the visual of shooting the ATF agents. Yeah. That's it. I remember when it went up in flames, though. Yeah. I remember that. I was getting ready for school.
So I don't know, in circles no one was saying like, this is terrible, or
no, I mean, I was
just kind of like they deserved that.
They stressed that they were a cult so hard,
right,
and so often.
I was balls deep in a history major, doing senior level history coursework with political science courses, and nobody talked about it.
Wow,
and it was on the TV every day, and people made jokes about it, in the punk rock community, like there were jokes. Like the barbecue and stuff like that. Nobody really understood because it was so new. It was so new, like nobody would even think the government was capable of hurting its citizens. Like nobody, and nobody had heard about Ruby Ridge, which happened before that. Nobody knew about it.
Yeah, the gun community did. That's about it.
Yeah, I was probably too young and on probation. I was definitely on probation my whole time at college. So I never.
But again, they tried to assassinate him by talking about his political beliefs.
Yeah, it's an interesting point, Luke, that there was no real discussion on it except in the gun community. Like I think the gun community probably was the people screaming for what was right, going way back, and it's slowly become common. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where do we go from here with the? Do you think they're going to? So, Omar, do you think they're going to back off Minnesota?
The deportation, the mass deportation thing is gone now. Trump conceded already. Taco.
Taco.
Trump always chickens out. The one thing you can rely on.
Oh, who came up with that?
Everybody.
No, I've never heard of Taco.
Yeah, it's just Trump always chickens out, and it's very unfortunate because I keep drinking the Kool-Aid and I keep getting fucking.
I know they were rounding people up today too, though.
I personally think because so far depends on which numbers you're looking at, but if you're just looking at in-state deportations, Obama deported more people in his first year
by far
than Trump did this year, which is supposed to be the largest deportation effort in American history. We won the full sweep. We have the House, we have the Senate, we have the executive. Like, if at any point it's now, and they're not doing it.
It's 900,000 to 250,000.
I don't believe that.
That's the official numbers.
The official numbers,
You
the official numbers they go off of, when you're looking at the ones that are anywhere near 1 million, they're going off of self-deportation numbers, which are not actually the numbers of self-deportations. It's variance in census data.
So you think the Obama numbers are skewed?
No, I wasn't. I was talking about Trump's numbers. Like,
Oh, you don't think he deported 250,000?
250,000 max, but there's numbers that say, oh, we actually got 660,000 people out this year, and that's counting their self-deportations, which again are not the actual self-deportation numbers. They take the census data of last year when they asked, are you an illegal immigrant? And they said yes, and this year they didn't say yes. I wonder why. And they're calling those self-deportations. So it's realistically the max number of people we got out of the country this year was 250,000, which Obama's first year was closer to 300. And it's like, it's embarrassing. We've got to, if not now, when? Who's going to do it? Is Vance going to do it? Are we going to do it next year? Realistically, it's the same thing that happened in 2016. There's going to be huge deportations. We're going to build the wall. The midterms came around 2018, and we slowed it to a crawl, and then we had the worst numbers in 20 years.
Except the military budget is going to $1 trillion.
So?
Well, I mean, no, that's something that's happening. Which it's just my point. Like nothing gets done, but the military-industrial complex gets their money.
I mean, my biggest thing is that this was like the perfect sweep, and it's the same thing I felt about like the big beautiful bill, not just getting rid of NFA items. It's like, this is the one opportunity we have. We have all the power, and we're not doing it. It infuriates me because I know deep down, if these things that I really want as like, radicalized right-wing person or whatever you want to say, if these things that I want don't happen under this exact climate right now, where Trump just want to sweep, when is it ever going to happen? And it's not. And the downside of it is with the whole, you're not really doing deportations, but you're doing them brutally to try to appease your base. But in reality, what that's doing is just making the left really angry. So now when they get power, they're going to be galvanized to retaliate even more. And we're not really doing anything. Like this should have been the time where we said, fuck the polls, fuck the numbers of who's in support of what, fuck the midterms even. Everybody loses seats in the midterms. Whoever's in power always loses seats in the midterms. We should have scored points that can't be unscored. That's what we needed to do. These first 2 years of the Trump presidency, we needed to get 1 million to 2 million people out and made sure they can't come back. So, something they can't undo. Because
we snatched Maduro, though.
That's really cool. I fully support that. I think we should be doing more of that.
I'm down.
Personally speaking. But when it comes to deportations are a huge issue, and it's mainly what he ran on and one of the big reasons he won so favorably, and it's just not happening. And
correct. And the economy is not getting any better.
Black pill.
Black pill?
So,
I mean, I'm down with black pill, dude, but I don't like being miserable. Being miserable kills you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be like I want to enjoy my life. Like, I love what I do. I love being me, and I love being a gun store owner, and I love being involved in firearms. I love having a family, and I love dogs, and I love my life. I'm not really happy with the government, but there's no reason to be miserable. That just, what did Morgan Freeman say? Or no, Clint Eastwood? Get busy living or get busy dying?
That was Morgan Freeman in Shawshank Redemption.
Totally fucked it up. Total boomer. What did Clint Eastwood say?
You can edit that out.
No, yeah, but get busy. Be happy. You know what I mean?
It's just the whole age-old thing of just ignorance is bliss. If you don't think about this, it generally doesn't affect your day-to-day life, and you'll just be a much happier person overall. The more you look, the more doomer it gets. The more there's no light at the end of the tunnel. The more you look, the worse shit you find. And
yeah, but Dean just took the microphone. Dean,
the ignorance is bliss doesn't really work because we already know we lost so much damn money.
Well, if you didn't know, would you
If
care?
we didn't know, no. Yeah.
That's
but
what I'm
now
saying.
that we already know, the door is already open. Something needs to happen.
The only real answer, if you want to live a happy life, is just delete social media.
Yeah.
Don't watch the news. Go about your day-to-day life. Go to work. Come back home. You know, that's a good life, and that's what I feel like a lot of people choose to do, which is the reason that nobody ever gets held accountable. Because at the end of the day, we have strayed so far away from a republic. We're basically mob rule now. If you can just convince the mob that, like, keep watching TikTok, everything is fine, you can get away with anything because not enough people will be galvanized to do anything about it. Most people do not want to endanger their day-to-day life, their personal life, for fighting for a cause that just seems unwinnable.
You should Google why didn't communism win? Like Google it one day and look up all the reasons and what professors say, like why it didn't take root, and you'll see how much it applies to modern day. Scary.
Well, it's taking root again now. Most people, millennial and my generation, and for college age people, are like favorable of communism.
Yeah,
for
but
some fucking reason.
they're just manipulated pawns.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
they don't know
Young,
anything.
dumb
They're
kids.
not Lenin and Trotsky fucking about ready to blow up shit.
Sure thing, but the fact that it's so easy to brainwash people to believe whatever you want them to believe, like, again, it all depends on how deep conspiratorial you want to get, but it's seeing how easy it is to manipulate entire groups of people to support your goals. Like, the average person that's going out and protesting ICE genuinely thinks that, you know, there is a Nazi regime, there's a Fourth Reich taking place in America.
Oh, yeah.
And they're executing, you know, any dissident on the streets, and they're going out to fight for their fellow man. They're going out to protect the lives of these innocent people, and that's what they believe. In reality, they're helping cover up about Somali fucking daycare scandals, but they don't know that. But it's so easy to manipulate them to do that for me, I've always battled with the whole, like, is there a cabal running everything? And it's like, how could there not be when it's just so easy to do?
That's some black pill shit, right? Is that black pill shit? See, I'm catching on. I'm learning.
Definitely.
I'm learning. Like my wife is very much like you, like in black pilling. Like she's generally a happy person, except she hates people. Like she hates people with a passion, but she's very much on your spectrum as far as like black pill and getting into and looking at things, but still she's generally like a happy person. So it's I think it is possible to know both. I mean, she follows stuff to just like you, and she always like wants to talk about it. Like, oh, do you know this? I'm like, it doesn't matter, babe. Like, we still got to pay our bills tomorrow. Still got to pay our bills, and it's okay, and we can't do anything about it. And let's focus on stuff we can do, like taking over your HOA.
Yeah.
But I took over an HOA. I didn't like how things were going in this apartment complex, and I fucking took that shit over.
Good.
I don't know what to do now, but I'll figure it out.
Just don't do anything you promised to do.
You got to get one of those like military vet jackets with like all the medals and like a Colombian like walk around
like the dictator.
Yeah.
Just walk around like Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah.
There's such a like. Have you guys watched The Dictator lately?
Been a while.
Oh man, is it fucking racist as fuck? It's so cool. Like it's really it resonates today. Like because how like racial people are getting. Like people are. The one thing the country is getting fractured into so many different little subgroups of people and so radicalized. Everybody is taking a stand on so many different things, and everybody is so hateful. Or just so passionate about what they think. It's whether it's this, my view, your view. Everybody just
No middle ground anymore.
there's no middle ground, and it's scary.
I think broad statements are mainly what makes that possible. Because
Yeah.
most people will not dig into details. They'll just take the surface level, whatever you say. So if you can represent what's happening as, you know, all you have to say is this guy got killed for protesting. People will not dig into it further than that. That's all they hear. That's all they need.
But
pick a stance and
But
pick
it's
a
hard
side.
to not be, what's the word, propagandized. It's hard not to to know you're being lulled by propaganda. It's hard to differentiate it
It goes towards
depending upon where you are.
Nobody's immune to propaganda. Sorry, go ahead.
I would say that even the news media out there now is propagandizing.
Oh, 100%.
And when you're talking about what happened down in Texas earlier, back then in the 90s and up until the early 2000s, the media was the media. And they weren't trying to propagandize folks. Today, they are. I mean, look at my former employer here, the newspaper, the Herald Tribune. Tell me they're not propagandizing.
Every article.
Yeah, every single article. And it's sad.
Does that infuriate you?
Oh, God, you have no idea.
I mean,
we have a no talking about the newspaper rule in my home.
Like the Sarasota Herald Tribune is such a cornerstone of our community. And it has been for decades upon decades. Like my uncle was an editor for the Bradenton Herald, and like those two papers were such it just integral pieces of our community, and now to see what it's become.
I mean, when I worked there, we had a good circulation is 200,000. Now they have less than 20, if you can believe that.
Yeah,
I mean, it's crazy.
It's died,
and
they're trying to claw their way back by sensationalizing their media on their social media.
Yeah, all they write about basically is restaurant reviews.
Mm.
I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm not buying the paper for the restaurant reviews.
I like restaurant reviews.
Get the paper.
No, it's Luke. So, what do you think the long-term effect of the Preddy and the good shooting is on the Second Amendment culture and Second Amendment life, if you will?
It's tough. I mean, I think there's going to be the exact opposite reaction of what the Trump administration wants. I think you're going to, like I saw the new Black Panthers were open carrying and
Turkish shotguns.
Yeah, Turkish shotguns, some M&P Sport 22s I saw. No sights, but
no sights.
But I mean, I think you're going to get people, when you tell them something, they're going to do the opposite. So you're going to see a lot more armed protesters. Not saying they're going to be violent protesters, but, Second Amendment people on the left open carrying at protests in the coming days. And it could get ugly. It could not, who knows? But yeah, I mean, I don't really think I answered your question great, but.
It's okay. We're just glad you're here, my lord.
Thank you.
Do you want to reveal why people call you my lord yet?
Nope.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Do you want to tell Mr. Williams?
No. It's a private thing.
Lee?
My question is...
no, go ahead.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Putz.
I just still think that this is my conspiracy tinfoil hat moment. I think that the whole ICE thing is I kind of believe this. It's a show. They'll never deport as many people as they need to. And it's just a show to, appease Trump's voters. And it's a distraction from the Epstein files. I definitely agree with that.
We said this last time.
Yeah, I definitely feel
Omar
like it's a
shit
big
on
distraction.
Us. And then the rest of YouTube shit on us. Remember that?
Yeah.
There was like 100 comments deep of everybody shitting on me and you.
Fuck them. I don't care.
Lee, like so me and Luke were kind of against like that blue-haired lady got smoked. That's not fucking cool. And then Omar just like shit on us, and then it got posted on YouTube, and all the YouTube shit on us too.
Oh, that's too bad.
It's too bad. We can't have it. It's really sad. Like you had people saying, "I'm with him. I'm with Lightning."
Team Omar.
Team Omar.
What did I miss?
Oh, just nothing. No, we were like what do you think the overall impact of the situation in Minnesota is going to be towards the Second Amendment? Like meaning that so you definitely you have base from. You can look at it like you have base that voted for Trump that fucking are maybe not going to vote Republican next time. Maybe they won't vote.
Won't vote is reasonable. I don't think anybody.
Like they're taking the black pill and they won't vote.
Won't vote is the most reasonable. I don't think anybody's switching to the.
They'll write in Nick Fuentes.
He's not 35 yet.
Okay, well, they can still write him in. They'll write in the Burger King guy.
Which one?
The guy who wears the hat on the plane.
Oh my god.
That guy?
Kanye. They're gonna
They'll
write
write
in
in
Kanye.
Kanye.
No, what do you think I think it's fractured us more than ever. It's fractured conservative people who were once conservative, or you could say who were conservative. It's fractured us even more.
And the Dems are going to continue that. They're going to use that.
Yeah.
You're never going to end up not hearing about this shooting.
Would you not agree that you have some people supporting law enforcement
True.
in the gun community? You have some people saying this is fucking bullshit.
True.
And it fractures us against each other.
I think pretty much everybody's on board with the response from the administration being really dumb. I think the people are fracturing about the actual shoot itself, but there's no way you can justify saying just because, again, and this is taken the context into account of like everything being apart. Yes, he absolutely could have been there to do all these things, but saying that the reason for it is because he was armed with extra magazines, I don't think anybody's on board with that.
I was on a radio show yesterday, and we talked about this. And the host, who I know well, he's got a national radio show, was 100% behind Trump. Everything he said was good. I mean, it was crazy. I'm like, well, what about this? What about that? No, didn't want to hear any of it.
See, that's what I'm saying. There's people who think it's okay.
Those people are ideologically captured. Those
Absolutely.
people, no matter what happens, they're going to be just playing their
And
side.
they're proud of that, though.
And
That's
thus
the issue.
we are fractured more, and they're going to use it against us.
These people, from my experience, just sense a lack of community in their day-to-day life. So they find a community, usually in a political party, and then they'll ride or die, support it till the day they die. And I mean, there's not much you can do about these people. I generally, when having conversations about this, just kind of discount, because there's always going to be a certain percentage that's going to be left no matter what, a certain percentage that's right no matter what, and there's no critical thinking that's going to reach these people.
Are you going to vote in the next election when they elevate J.D. Vance to the position? Are you going to vote red or blue next time, or are you just not going to vote?
I'm definitely not voting blue. I have not made my decision on whether I'm going to vote or not.
Luke?
I'm voting for Fishback.
Yeah, I'm voting for Fishback.
Yeah, I'm voting for Fishback
Yeah.
too. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge JD Vance guy.
Yeah, but after all this, do you vote on party lines next time around, or has this made you say, you know what, I'm blackpilling, I'm out?
It depends who's running. Honestly, it really depends.
Well, J.D. Vance is going to run.
Spoiler
We'll see.
alert.
Spoiler alert.
I don't know.
Yeah, J.D. Vance is going to run.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
And it depends on what I would agree with Omar. I'm either going to vote red or not at all, or maybe I'll just vote for a libertarian.
Just throw away.
See, all right. See, that's what I'm saying. We're fucking like all these things were fractured even more. What's it going to do to us? You know, it's fucking that kind of shit is where I'm talking about. It's scary.
The right needs to find its identity post-Trump, because right now the identity of Trump successfully infiltrated.
What is our identity?
Well, that's what the Civil War, the right-wing Civil War, is about right now. Of what that means. You've got the America First side, the more establishment side, and all that. Obviously, I know which side I stand on.
Which side do you stand on? Or is there America First over here, and then there's Black Pill over there?
Well, Black Pill is not a political affiliation.
Okay, I'm getting carried away with the word.
Yeah. No, what I'm trying to get at is that the big fight that's happening on the right now is necessary, and it's as much as it sucks for not being able to unify against a common enemy. It's not good for political reasons in the short term. In the long term, it's absolutely necessary, because previous to Trump, and this is all just me, repeating what I've heard. I wasn't alive at this time, but pre-Trump, it seemed to be the establishment had a hold of the Republican Party, and the Republican Party kind of was just the establishment Republican Party. The party of the war in Iraq, the party of rich people, tax cuts, etc. And then Trump came in, and I mean, I'll never forget it on that first debate stage where they ask, is anybody going to run as an independent if they're not the nominee? And Trump was the only one who raised his hand, and he's like, yeah, because I'm doing this with or without you guys. And he successfully infiltrated, and he took over the Republican Party. And the modern-day Republican Party is Trump's party. Once he's gone, it's up for grabs on which direction it goes. And I think it's very important that it goes a certain way, because otherwise we're just never going to win again.
Dean, what about you?
I wouldn't vote blue. I just wouldn't. I probably would vote J.D. Vance. I wouldn't not vote and just throw it away. is then it allows the other side to just win and fraud and all the other bullshit that's going on that
I'm too
side.
I'm too much of a FUD or
Yeah.
old person. I'm too much of an old person to not vote.
Yeah.
Like I've been doing it all my life, and I've got to vote.
Yeah, you
like
gotta vote,
I've got to
yeah.
vote for somebody.
Just giving up.
I'm
is-
not going to just give up. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not me.
Here are your options for 2028. Do you want to give all your money to Somalis, or do you want to give it to Palantir and Anduril?
An APAC.
Potentially,
Okay.
depending on how the next few years goes.
I mean, I definitely don't want to give it to Somalians.
That's kind of, I feel like, where most people stand. Like, I know
Definitely.
I'm not voting for that side, but what does my side look like? And unfortunately, it seems at this point that what our side looks like is trying to be, forced, and it's JD Vance. And
Well, he doesn't have the nomination yet.
I would put everything I own down on the fact that they're just going to do what they did with Kamala Harris to him. There's not even going to be a primary. It's just going to be JD.
I think we saw that it didn't work out that well for the Dems.
It did not, but
Yeah. I might take back what I said. I know
God.
this might be corny, but as a person who I think I will vote whoever has the better Second Amendment policy,
Amen.
regardless
there you
of
go.
blue or red. Honestly, like if for some reason a blue person comes out and says,
Machine guns for everybody.
I'll probably vote for that.
How do you know that's not just a lie, though?
You know what? Yeah, but I mean, that's
You
a
won't have
good
any money for the
question.
Machine guns.
What?
You won't have any money for the machine guns.
That's true, but the price will go down.
So we are in agreement that at least all of us, I see that we're in agreement that the Preddy shoot, he should not have been killed.
Yeah,
and we are definitely in agreement that the propaganda that the government is sending out there amongst the airwaves and the social media waves is that propaganda and not
Without a doubt.
not good representation of what the Second Amendment means. 2 magazines is normal. It's normal. It's normal to have an AR in your car.
We got to start really refreshing our vocabulary here. 30 rounds is a standard capacity magazine. 2 rounds is the minimum. 2 mags is the minimum amount. A stock gun is a gun with an optic and a flashlight on it. Like, we really got to modernize our language, I feel like. If I hear high capacity magazine referring to a fucking 12 rounder one more time,
If he only had a revolver, this
I think you need to come out with I think you need to come out with a manifesto, bro.
that leads to like really bad things historically. Generally, the things that follow a manifesto, not great.
I mean, you could take a stand. Just your manifesto on firearms nomenclature.
We'll get it published.
Yeah, get it published. You get money. And then to segue out, number one, the drinks that you see on the deck. These are from, what are they called again?
Omni?
Omni Energy Drinks, and our buddy Jason Hu. And he sends one of his nice employees in and gives us cases and cases of energy drinks, which we in turn give to the production guys, which they all need because they're sandblasting, and sandblasting sucks. But Omar, so you talked about the coolest thing that you thought happened at SHOT Show being on the shoulders of very tall individuals. What about the coolest thing you saw as far as it comes to guns?
Speed run through this real quick. US made SR3M, the modernized AS-Val, super cool. Novox, they make an SD barrel for any 9mm platform that turns it into an SD for $350. Really cool. Holosun makes an optic that has an IR and a vis laser coming out of it. Really cool. Geisley bolt gun's really cool.
the Danny.
The Danny's not coming out,
It's not coming
unfortunately.
out.
You're right.
Unfortunately. It would have been really cool if the Danny came out.
Can we talk about that for a second?
Sure.
Is that not fucking bullshit?
What do you mean?
Oh, like let's come out with the best fucking rifle ever, or it could be, or could something could compete with the Mark I, and no, you can't have it for fucking 2 years.
They said they're still working on it. They said if they were to release it now, they would not be able to keep up with the demand. I was talking to their guys a lot about the X1 because I was telling them, like, Sons of Liberty did it right. They won a contract, immediately followed it with a lot of stock. Like, historically speaking, a Noveski rifle wins a contract, you can get 3 a year maybe for
Okay.
your shop. Sons of Liberty did it perfectly because they won the contract and immediately we have 20 on the wall. Like, it's they followed it up, and that is why the Mark I is like taking over the industry and everybody's shooting and talking about it right now. Daniel needs to do something similar where they need to make sure they can keep up with the demand. So when they release it and when it's hot still, people will be able to go into a store and buy them and not.
But
get
why
on a
can't
wait
they do
list.
that just now?
Apparently, they don't have the capability to mass produce it just yet.
I get it, and I'm friends with the Daniel folks, and I know and love them. But all right, bullshit.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
did
Then because they put it out for the contract 4 years ago. That was the contract gun where, correct me if I'm wrong, but that was the contract gun for the SAS that Glock put their gun in, put an AR into.
Glock put
Same
it in.
one.
Knights Armament KS1 won it.
And then Knights Armament won it. So, okay, so why would they bid it 4 years ago without the ability to make them in mass?
I believe there's a reason it didn't win, and they've been working those kinks out.
Yeah, the bolt carrier sheared or some shit, right?
I
Something like
didn't
that?
want to say it.
Yeah, the bolt carrier sheared.
They had some metallurgy issues that they are getting fixed.
I just call bullshit. I think I think that's you tell your machines to do this. Like you have fucking 90 hosses. You tell, hey, fucking go make these things.
They're working with exotic stuff. They have to source a lot of it. That's the big thing. Like they might have the machining power to mass produce it, but maybe they just do not have the demand. Like I'm just gonna say a random thing. The bolt carriers have tungsten in them. For example, their tungsten supplier, they cannot get enough to mass produce those things right now.
Then make the civilian one with a different bolt carrier.
It kind of defeats the purpose, though.
I mean, it's just I don't take no. Like you can't being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, you can't fucking say okay no.
All I'll say is every single person wearing a Daniel Defense shirt I talked to was in agreement that they need to get this thing out faster. That's it.
But quarter three is fucking September.
Quarter 3 is for law enforcement and government,
right?
Not for us.
But quarter 3 is for September, and they said sometime after quarter 3, after we get that situated. That's 2 years. That's fucking super Walmart gay.
Yeah, but when it comes out, it'll be really cool.
Will it though? I mean,
how do you know?
Like, I don't know. I feel like there'll be cooler guns by then. Like, I think Sons of Liberty are probably already working on their next, gun.
They are.
It'll probably be better than the Mark 1, and it'll probably be better than the DD4X?
X1.
The X1.
It seems that anything that being submitted for a special
Yeah,
forces contract just has one in it. KS1,
I think
X1,
that
Mark 1.
I mean, I personally think that maybe, or at least I hope. I mean, I don't know, but I would think that the way that Sons of Liberty market their company and the way that the persona of Mike that we know from not knowing him, but know that they care as much about arming people as they care about arming military and Leo.
Sure, but
whereas Danny does not.
Danny still sells the same models they sell to the government.
Of course, but not like so. It just remember like we got into this over the COA. Like I got really bummed out because the economic aspect of the COA, because you want your shops to be successful. You want your dealers, your partners to be successful, and if you take the Glock 43X with a COA on it away from the market, that means my shop can't make the money off those, and only your law enforcement contracts. That hurts me economically. And then number two, you're giving law enforcement a weapon. Although you said, well, you can just buy a Glock with a holosun. I'm like, yeah, but then why doesn't law enforcement just take a Glock with a holosun? And that was a point where we disagreed. To me, it's like the same thing. Like you come out with the best rifle ever, and allegedly, and that could help us tremendously economically. Like if we had another version, another Mark I style gun that's just as good, and I bet it's going to be $5,000. Like I'm thinking that's probably $49.99, but people would still buy it. That helps us economically as an industry.
This is where I disagree with you.
And it's well, I mean, I've run a gun shop for 15 years,
yeah.
So I have a little bit. I know a little bit, but it's also my perspective, and I'm allowed to have one. You're allowed to have yours, and then you also get the fact that this is, I mean, you want your civilians to have the same stuff that your military has.
Well, that's
and
already out the window.
Huh?
That's already out the window.
As much as possible. But I think like that's where Sons and Danny differ. You think like maybe they were just ready. I think that's part of their company that I don't think Mike would say, yeah, fuck that. We're not releasing it just to Leo. Fuck capacity. We're releasing as much as we can to our key dealers because we want our brand. We want those guns inside of civilians' hands and law enforcement and military. It's not fucking cool. And that's just what, and it gets me. But I mean, so the economic aspect of it pisses me off, and the Second Amendment aspect of it pisses me off.
Well, when it comes to the economical aspect, the way that I see it is if a guy's coming in here ready to spend a lot of money on the best rifle ever, you're probably going to sell him a Mark 1. The X1 not being available for you to sell, I don't think it's going to delete that sale. It's just going to turn it into something else.
Yeah, but the person who has the Mark 1's not going to also buy a fucking X1. Right? The person who has the Mark 1 will come and buy another one. It's retail economics and the gun industry. It's just what I've seen. It's just stuff like that can, like, it can make or break companies, and like companies need that. Like, it's not, the gun industry was very hard this year. We need all the help we can get, and the people who are on the front lines providing the Second Amendment to people are the gun shops, and those gun shops need help. And so if I was the CEO of a company, I'd be like, fuck, no, we gotta get this to market. Get this to market. These, like, our shops need that, our partners need that, and the civilians need it. Like, what if fucking the black flag of ISIS starts flying around Minnesota?
Sure, the Mark 1s will do just fine.
I'm sure they will do just fine. Thank goodness for Sons of Liberty. But why not have that fucking badass Danny that they showed?
Well, I think this comes from my perspective on this comes from having something similar seen a lot with the video games. But I would much rather just give them the time to cook and make sure it's good when it comes out, because I don't want them to release that gun to the market and then the first people who shell out however much it's going to be, let's say $4,000 for a rifle, start having their bolt carriers collapse.
Like the Hudson?
Maybe they learned.
Yeah, like the Hudson, like the 308.
One bad product tanks your reputation in the industry.
Yeah, but
it's a very dog-eat-dog.
Yeah, but they're 308s. So the DD, the D5, DDM, the 308, fucking notoriously, they jam with suppressors. And like you might get one out of, maybe not notoriously, but you get one out of probably 50. And you have to send it back, and they install an adjustable gas block. They send it back to you, and it works. And it's happened, I think, 5 times here. And because you don't own the gun shop.
I know.
I mean,
I'm not trying to challenge you, Will.
Huh?
I'm not trying to challenge you.
No, I'm just saying that it's they've done things, like, to your credit, like what you're saying. Well, they don't want to release the product unless it's perfect. I get that. Well, they have released it more than multiple times in the past where it's not perfect.
Maybe they're learning. I'm hoping so, because Sig Sauer, where they're in right now, comes from one gun.
Right.
Their reputation comes from one gun. When you look at, like, Dead Air almost didn't survive the Sierra 5 incident. If they weren't able to pick it up and offer the warranty that they did, that could have been, like, business ending. In this industry, for whatever reason, it's so cutthroat that if you release one product without making sure it's perfect, unless you're really good at identifying and fixing it, that's a plague that will follow you for the rest of your industry's existence. That's how I see it. I'm okay with people taking their time to cook stuff up. But I also don't own a gun shop.
It makes me fucking so angry. I get so irritated by it. But I mean, it's their company, their prerogative. I understand. But it would help us a lot. Like, it'd be like, if we had them, it'd be $10,000 more a day. $10,000 more a day in sales. I mean, like $20,000-$30,000 more on a Saturday or a Friday. Dude, that's fucking life-changing. Life-changing. And then I could hire more people. I buy more shit. Pay everybody. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's economics, dude. What do you think, Lee?
10,000 a day. Oh,
2 guns.
Incredible. Hope that works out for you.
No, but like, what about this? Like, that's 10,000. That's $700 sales tax goes to the state every day.
I know so little about marketing firearms, brother. It's difficult to be in this room and not just look at the walls.
Understood.
Let me rapid fire a couple more real quick.
Yeah, please.
Zastava coming out with a PKM semi-auto.
Okay,
that's sexy as fuck.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
We've got Magpul partnering with Maztec to create a ballistic calculator thing that fits your existing scopes. So if you have an LPVO, you can put it in their system with a little aiming device. You point it at something, you click a button. Inside of your scope, it tells you where to aim to hit where you're pointing at. It's a point-and-shoot system. Super cool. That's like...
That gets me hard.
What MSRP?
A lot less than you would think, though. I know their laser aiming module, their like rangefinder system, is $2,000. I don't remember the price of the unit itself, but it's not counting the cost of the scope because you can put in whatever LPVO you have into it. So it's less than I thought it would be, but it's still pricey, obviously. There is a South Korean company potentially importing in South Korean guns, which is really cool. Daewoo's and K7s and such.
They were right behind us.
Yeah, those are always.
Did you go play with them?
I played with them. I didn't do a video with them. The Koreans scared me.
They scared me too.
Yeah.
They brought in like piles and piles of food every day. Like, I'm not kidding, bags and bags of food and drinks and shit like that. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And I'm like, who are you feeding back there? They're right behind us.
It's really funny.
I love Korean food.
And then finally, the dragon gun. I'm sure you've seen it.
No.
It's kind of alien-esque.
Oh, yeah, the dragon gun. Yeah, I saw it.
The one big thing about it is...
How much was that?
Like $6,000.
Yeah.
It's very, very expensive. But the coolest thing about that for me was it's like a Lego. There's toolless in this. You can disassemble the entire gun without a tool. You can do it just with your hands. You just take stuff out, and the entire gun comes apart like to its bare components with just your hands.
It was. I really appreciate you guys doing all the work you did with the content. All the videos are doing really well. And Eric, exactly what you said of us not pulling the high point video was the right thing to do. And it like it's all getting like on all of our videos are getting bumps on YouTube because probably the Danny video and then and then Eric was, dude, we cannot pull the high point video. If we pull it, it'll fuck up our algorithm and it'll fuck up everything, and then SHOT Show will be fucking doomed. And so, but I appreciate you guys doing all that work, and the videos are turning out great, and can't thank you enough.
Thank you for letting me come out to SHOT Show.
Yeah, I'm glad I could afford it. I couldn't afford that. The reason I didn't buy your ticket the first time, like, it just wasn't in the cards, man. I didn't have the dough.
Glad it paid off.
You know what I mean? I could have given you Kevin's ticket. Fucker. We'll talk about that another time. I want to thank Mr. Lee Williams for coming out and giving us his insight. Dude, I'd really like to talk about Waco sometime. I'd really like to talk about Ruby Ridge.
Yeah.
Luke has a incident that happened in Michigan that he wants to talk about.
Yeah. Rainbow Farms. Have you heard about that?
No.
Oh, yeah. Look into Rainbow Farms.
It's pretty interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, but we want to thank Lee Williams for coming in
My pleasure.
in his
Thank
busy
you.
schedule. Thank the guys and thank Dean because let's thank Dean.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate everybody watching. Make sure you hit the like button if you can. Check out our other social media pages. Subscribe, share, tell everybody you can about us. And if you ever get the chance and you're in Sarasota, Florida, come by our shop. T-shirts. I'll give you hats, stickers, whatever. I'll let you pet the dogs. I'll see you.